Okay, so for this video, this presentation is about shear moment diagrams na lang. So we will not use equations anymore. So again, if you have adjusted the numbering of problems in the set that I gave you, ito na yung magiging problem number 6. So we have here an overhanging beam. So we have hinge at B. Itong BA, yung overhanging portion, and then a roller at F. Concentrated loads at A, C, and E, and a couple, which is counterclockwise at point D. So these are the reactions. So dito sa point B, hindi ko muna nilagay yung horizontal. Although alam naman natin na 0 yon dahil wala namang kailangang maging reaction for any horizontal forces in the load diagram or in the load system. So, para hindi masyado mag-overlap dito yung mga values. So, I just presented the vertical component at B. So, what we will do is, we will draw the shear and moment diagrams, again, without using the equations. So, the first thing that you will do is, you draw a line parallel to the beam, and then you start at A. So, kung meron kang concentrated load dito, so you draw a line, a vertical line, at A, which will represent the 10 kilonewton load. If it is downward, then that is negative. So, using this line representing the beam or the axis of the beam, so lahat ng nasa taas nito ay positive, lahat dito ay negative. So, para lang din yan yung ginawa natin sa previous problems. Kaya lang dito, diretso yung paggawa natin ng diagram. So, if you have 10 kilonewtons downward, so from here, you draw a line downward representing the 10 kilonewton load. Then, punta ka doon sa kabilang end ng segment na ito. So, following the guideline, if between 2 points, or kung sa segment na yon ay walang ibang loads, maliban doon sa load na nasa mga ends nito, o nasa dulo, kagaya nito, between A and B, walang ibang load dito. So, if that is the case, your shear diagram here will be horizontal. So, ang ibig sabihin niyan, ang shear values mo at all points here sa segment AB ay pare-parehas na negative 10 kilonewtons. Now, at point B, so meron kang negative 10. So, idiretso mo yung pag-drawing ng line, pero tingnan mo mabuti, ano ba ang meron sa point B? So, meron ka ditong reaction na 35. So, from this point ng negative 10, umakyat ka ng 35. Or, you add 35 kilonewtons because this is upward. So, meaning it is positive. So, if you will start from negative 10, you add 35. So, that will be negative plus 35. So, you have positive 25. So, again, from A, you have negative 10. Dahil from A to B, wala kang load. So, horizontal ito. Pagdating mo dito, meron kang upward na 35. So, you add 35 to negative 10. So, negative 10 plus 35, dadaan ka dito sa line. So, ibig sabihin, positive 25 ang magiging ordinate mo mula dito hanggang doon. And if you will get the absolute value from this point up to here, iyan ay nagre-represent dito sa 35. Pero, dahil dumaan yan dito sa axis ng beam, or dito sa line na nagre-represent sa beam, so mula dyan hanggang doon, you only have positive 25. So, negative 10, diretso ka dito, then plus 35, so you will have positive 25. Then, between B and C, dahil wala ka ulit load dito, so you will have horizontal line hanggang B. So, this is 25 pa rin, no? Mula dito hanggang doon. So, pagdating mo dyan, merong 25 na downward. So, meaning from 25, ibawas mo yung 20, so that will be 25 minus 20 because this is downward. So, ang matitirang ordinate mo dito ay positive 5. So, again, mula dito, negative 10, walang load, so horizontal. Then, negative 10 plus 35 will give you positive 25. Between B and C, walang load, so horizontal. Pagdating dito, 25 minus 20 is 5. Ibig sabihin, itong ordinate na to, or itong line na to, ay nagre-represent dito sa 20 na ibinawas mo dito sa 25. Kaya yung 5 na to ay mula dito hanggang doon. So, from C to D, walang ibang loads dito. Kaya ang shear diagram mo is horizontal also. So that this ordinate is still positive 5. Itong 20 kN meter, hindi mo pa isasama yan kasi couple ito or moment. So doon yan sa moment diagram kasama at wala itong equivalent na shear diagram. So you continue. So between D and E, walang load dito, kaya horizontal ang shear diagram. So that this ordinate is still positive 5. Excuse me. Positive 5. Pagdating mo sa E, may downward na 20. So, positive 5 minus 20. So, that will be negative 15. So, again, from positive 5, baba ka dito. So, that will be 5 minus 20. So, magiging negative 15 mula dito hanggang dito. At yung kabuuan mula dyan hanggang dito, yun yung nagre-represent sa 20. Na binaba mo mula dyan hanggang dito. Pero dahil nga, dumaan dito sa axis ng beam, mula dyan hanggang dito, negative 15 na lang yun. Then, from E to F, walang uling load, kaya ang shear dyan is horizontal. So, you still have negative 15. So, from negative 15, pagtapat mo dito, merong upward na 15. Kaya from negative 15, you draw a vertical line from here hanggang doon. Ibig sabihin, from negative 15 pataas. No? Or negative 15 plus 15 because this is positive. So, your shear diagram will now close to 0. Now, notice again the points of zero shear. So, you have 1 point of zero shear here kasi merong deviation sa shear values from negative 10 to positive. So, this is one point of zero shear. So, there's another one here from positive to negative. Ulitin ko yung pag-drawing nito para dire-diretso. So, you have 10 downward and then horizontal kasi wala kang load between A and B. Pagdating sa B, merong upward na 35. So, negative 10 plus 35, you have positive 25. No values of loads between B and C, so horizontal ang shear. Pagdating mo sa 20, pagdating mo sa C, may 20 na downward. So, 25 minus 20 will give you positive 5 ordinate at C. So, between C and D, no load, so horizontal ang shear value. Again, your 20 kilonewton meter is not yet included here because couple ito. So, wala itong shear diagram. From D to E, no load, so horizontal ang shear. So, maintain mo dito na 5. Pagdating mo sa E, merong 20 downward. So, 5 minus 20 will give us negative 15. So, between E and F, no load, so horizontal. And then, negative 15 plus 15 will give you 0, or it will close your shear diagram. Now, for the moment diagram, or draw a layout. By the way, the maximum shear is 25 there. Then let us now draw the moment diagram. So here, what you will do is, you just compute for the area of the shear diagram in each segment to get the value of the moment. Now, dito sa A, so if you will start at A, no? So wala tayo ditong given na couple or moment as a load. So 0 na yung moment mo dito. And then, punta ka doon sa kabilang point ng segment na yan, which is B. So how do you get the moment of this point, at this point? So notice that from A to B, you have here a the shear diagram for AB. At itong shape na ito is rectangular. So if you need to get the moment at B, starting from A with 0 moment, so you either add or subtract that area para makuha mo yung moment sa point na to. So ibig sabihin, 0 ang moment mo dito, at dahil meron kang negative area or negative shear, which is negative 10 kilonewtons. So to get the area of this hanggang B, so that will be negative 10 multiplied by 2, because this is 2 meters. So negative 10 by 2, that will be the area of your shear diagram. So kapag ang ginamit mong distance ay from 0 to 2, then you are getting the moment here. But then again, if you start here, wala kang moment sa A. Kasi una, walang given na load in the form of a couple, and at the same time, hindi rin naman yan fixed end para magkaroon ng couple or moment. So, 0 ka dito. And then dito, may moment ka dyan. Kung ang area is positive, ang moment ay positive. Kung ang area ng shear diagram ay negative, the moment is also negative. So at point B, again, starting from 0, so 0 minus the area of this shear diagram, kasi negative yan. So 0 minus 20. So this will be your moment diagram for AB. 0 to negative 20. So, 0 degree ang line. Pagdating dito, 1 degree ang line, or it is a straight line. So, you have negative 20 kilonewton meter. Then, if you need to compute for the moment at C, So, from negative 20, so tingnan mo kung ano ang area ng shear diagram between B and C. So, in this case, you have a positive area. O, take note class that itong 25 na to ay yung ordinate ng shear to the left of C. Kaya, kasama siya dito sa area na to. Or meaning, the area of this shear diagram is 25 multiplied by 2. And it is positive. Kaya yung moment mo dito sa C is starting from B, which is negative 20. So, from negative 20, you add this area. Kasi positive yan. So, negative 20 plus 25 by 2. So, you will have positive 30 at point C. So, ibig sabihin, you will have an ordinate of 30 here. And that ordinate na 30 dito, i-connect mo dito. So, this is how it looks like there. So, ito yung ordinate na 30. So, again, starting from 0 here, you want to get the moment at B. So, you subtract this area. Kasi negative ang shear value mo dyan. So, ang moment mo dito ay 0 minus 10 by 2. So, you have negative 20. And going to C, dahil may positive area ka dito, so, starting from B, you have negative 20 plus this area is equivalent to 50. So, ang difference ay positive 30. So, kaya ang pag-drawing mo dyan, negative 20 pataas. Kasi alam mo na yung moment dyan has a positive ordinate of 30. Kaya yung pag-drawing mo is from 0, negative 20, then tataas ka dito. Okay? Next. Moment at D. So, between C and D, okay, you have a positive shear value here. Kaya, ibig sabihin, you have positive area of shear. So, para makuha mo yung moment sa D, from 30, you add this area. So, 30 plus 5 by 2. And 5 by 2 is 10. So, 30 plus 10 is 40. Kaya yung magiging ordinate mo dito is higher than this one. Kaya ang pag-drawing mo dyan is like this. And of course, it is a straight line, inclined up to the right. Kasi ito, 0 degree. Kaya pagbaba mo dito, dapat 1 degree yan, or straight line. And again, the ordinate is 40 at D. So again, from 0, then going to B, you have minus this area, so you have negative 20, plus this area, you have positive 30, plus this area, positive 40. So be careful with the degree of the lines. Pagdating mo sa D, nandito yung couple na 20, which is counterclockwise. So you will subtract it from 40, and that will be 40 minus 20, you will have positive 20. So dahil you are going to subtract this, dahil counterclockwise yan, you will draw a line here sa tapat ng D na downward. So this represents the negative couple of 20. So 40, baba ka ng 20. Kaya itong ordinate na ito ay 20. And then, punta ka dito sa E. So, from positive 20, so dahil ito ay positive area, so 20 plus this area which is 5 by 2 is 10. So, 20 plus 10 is 30. Ang degree ng line mo dito ay 0. Kaya pag nag-drawing ka ng line from D to E, it will be a straight line which is higher than this. Or dahil 30 yung ordinate mo dito, katapat nito. And this is the line. Okay? So that ordinate is 30. So again, from 0, then minus 20, plus 50, plus 10, plus minus 20, plus 10 is 30. And then, if you will go to F, kailangan mag-close sa 0 yan. So you have positive 30. So from E to E, there's a negative shear value or shear diagram, which is equivalent to 15 by 2. So from 30 minus 30 is 0 moment shear. Again, from 30 going to F. So from E to F, you have negative 15, and the total length from E to F is 2. So that the total area of this is negative 30. So that the moment at F is positive 30 minus this area will give you 0. Ang degree ng line mo dito is 0. Kaya from E to F, ang degree ng line is 1, which is a straight line. And this will be the moment diagram. And the maximum moment is 40. So, kanina, naka-identify tayo ng dalawang points of zero shear dito sa B at sa E. Although dun sa previous problems natin, yung mga maximum moment ay tumatapat doon sa points of zero shear. Dito hindi. Nagkataon kasi dito na yung maximum moment ay natapat dito. But it depends on the load system or on the load diagram. Hindi lahat ng cases ay ganito, kagaya nito, hindi tumapat doon sa point of zero shear dito yung maximum moment. Kaya kailangan talaga ay you draw the shear and moment diagrams. And these are the diagrams for problem 6. Nakalagay na rin dito yung degree ng line for each diagram, sa shear at sa moment. So this is problem number 7. So it is also a simply supported beam. So these are the reactions for the supports for beam number 7. So hindi ko na ulit sinama yung horizontal component dito. But of course, we know that we have a hinge here. So para medyo bawas dun sa mga data na pwede maka-overlap dun sa figure natin. So, we will draw the shear and moment diagrams. So, draw a line parallel to the beam. So, at point A, you have upward of 15. So, you draw a vertical line, a positive line, representing that 15 kilonewton force. So, from A to B, there is no load. So, horizontal lang shear. Pagdating sa B, you have downward of 10. So, 15 minus 10 will give you 5. And then, no load between B and C, so horizontal. Ang 10 kilonewton meter couple is not included kasi sa moment diagram kasama ito. Then, to continue from C to D, there is no load. So, still, you have 5 kilonewtons as shear. Then, between D and E, you have uniformly distributed load. So, para makuha mo yung ordinate dito, so from positive 5 sa D, you subtract this because this is downward. But of course, you need to get the equivalent single force of this, which is equivalent to 10 multiplied by 4, or this is 40. So to get the ordinate here, 5, that will be 5 minus the equivalent single force of this. So 5 minus 40 is negative 35. So para madrawing mo yung line from D to E, tingnan mo muna kung ano dapat na maging itsura niyan. Ang load diagram has 0 degree, kaya ang shear diagram is 1 degree, which is a straight line. So ito magiging itsura ng shear diagram for DE with ordinate of negative 35. Then from negative 35, merong positive 35 sa E. So you draw a line from here upward, and that will close to 0. Maximum shear is 35 kilonewtons. Then for the moment diagram, so sa A, you have 0 moment. Then punta ka sa B. So that will be 0 plus this area because positive shear diagram. So again, from A to B, you have 15 na ordinate ito. So that will be 15 by 2. So ang moment mo sa B is 0 plus 15 by 2 or 0 plus 30. And since this is 0 degree, ang moment diagram mo ay 1 degree, which is a straight line. So from 0 to 30. So that will be a straight line inclined upward to the right. Then going to C, we have positive area of shear dito, kaya 30 plus this area. And this is equivalent to 10. So that your ordinate here will be 30 plus 10. And it is a 1 degree line kasi ito ay 0 degree. Kaya pagdating dito 1 degree yan. And it will be inclined up to the right kasi mas mataas ang ordinate nito dito dahil nag-add ka ng 10. So, dito mo na ngayon isasama itong 10 kilonewton meter na clockwise. So, dahil clockwise yan, you represent it with an upward ordinate, no, from 40. Dagdag ka dito ng 10. There. So, that 40 plus 10 will give you 50. So, 50 ang moment mo dito. And then, sa D, from 50, you add this moment, or shear diagram rather, kasi this is a positive shear. So 50 plus 5 by 2 or 50 plus 10. So that will be your moment at D. And since this is 0 degree, 1 degree ang line mo dito sa moment diagram. There. So you have 60. Now, pagdating mo dito sa segment CD, you will notice that there is point of 0 shear dito. And possible na tumapat dyan yung maximum value ng moment. So we need to locate that. Okay, this point of 0 shear, locate natin using segment DE. There. So we will just use this using ratio and proportion. So, kasi dito may na-obtain tayo na triangles. Ito. So, para malocate natin itong distance x. And of course, to locate also the, or to compute also for the maximum value of moment. So, ito yung shear diagram na yon. So, nilagyan ko lang muna ng color. So, again, this is the ordinate ng shear sa point D, which is positive 5, sa point E na negative 35. Ginamit ko lang muna yung absolute values kasi magre-ratio and proportion tayo. So, pwedeng hindi muna natin sama yung negative side. Okay, so again, this is the distance x na hinahanap natin para sa location ng point of zero shear. So, from D to E, that is 4. So, that this distance is 4 minus x. So, if you will use, by the way, dito, you have option 1. So, ibig sabihin, there are other options para mag-ratio and proportion ka. Now, this option 1, ito yung pwede mong gawin. There. 5 is to x as 35 is to 4 minus x. So, you can only do that kung ito ay magkaparehas ng slope. Magkaparehas naman yan kasi sa pag-drawing natin ng shear diagram for that segment, 1 degree yan, na continuous yan from 5 to negative 35. So, ito yung ratio and proportion natin. Or if you want, pwede rin ito na yung reciprocal lang kasi pwedeng x is to 5 as 4 minus x is to 35. So it's just the same. Then you simplify this or this one and you will get x equals 0.5 meter. Now here's another option for the ratio and proportion. So ang gagawin natin dito, so ito ulit yung shear diagram natin, gagawin natin is bubuuin lang natin yung malaking triangle. So, ito yung dalawang shear diagrams. So, binuo lang natin ito hanggang dito. Kaya ang gagamitin mo rin na mga values dyan ay yung mga shear values pa rin na 35 and 5. So, again, itong ordinate is 5. Itong ordinate na to is 35. So, ibig sabihin, if you will use this big triangle, this is 5, and this is 35. So, I will remove this now. So, ito na yung triangle natin. At ito yung 5, ito yung 35. So, if you will get the total height of this triangle, it will be 40. And for the ratio and proportion, so you can do it this way. 5 is to x as 40 is to 4. Or x is to 5 as to 4 is to 40. So it's the same. So if you simplify this one or this one, you will get x equals 0.5. So the same din ang result dun sa isang option kanina. So it's up to you kung anong option ang gusto mong gamitin, kung saan ka mas madadalian. So after solving for the distance x, so let us continue with the diagrams. So ito ulit yung ginawa natin kanina na diagram sa shear na dire-diretso natin na drawing yan. With that maximum shear of 35, then for the moment diagram. So inulit lang natin para medyo ma-review tayo kung saan tayo nahinto. So dito tayo sa 60, nahinto kanina, and then let us get the moment here at the point of zero shear. So again, yan yung point natin, and we were able to solve this distance na 0.5. So to get the moment here, from 60, punta ka dito, at makikita mo, meron kang positive area dito because you have positive shear na 5 to 0. So this is a triangular area. So to get the moment here, so you have 60 plus this area. And that area is, since this is a triangle, so that will be 1/2 of 5 by 0.5. So after adding this area to 60, so that will be your ordinate here. And of course, you need to connect 60 to that ordinate at the point of zero shear. So since dito, meron kang 1 degree ng line, ang moment diagram mo dito ay second degree. Dahil ang shear value dito ay decreasing from 5 to 0, yung second degree curve is concave downward. And this is how it looks like there with 61.25 na value. And we have seen that this is the greatest value mula among these other values sa ating beam. Kasi alam natin na 0 na dito. Dahil wala na tayong ibang makikita na point of zero shear, kundi ito lang. So, pwede na tayong dumiretso dito na 0 naman ang moment. But of course, we still have to compute or to check na meron talagang 0 moment dito. Now, you have here positive 61.25. So to get to confirm that you have 0 moment here, so you subtract this because this is a negative shear, so that this area is negative. So 61.25 minus this area, or since this is a triangle, so we have 1/2 of 35 by this distance, which is 4 minus 0.5. So this is 3.5. So again, the area of this triangle is 1/2 by 35 by 3.5. And since this is a negative area, so we will subtract it from 61.25, which will give us the moment here. And if you will compute that, this is also 61.25. Now, since your shear diagram here is 1 degree curve or line, your moment diagram is second degree. And since the shear diagram is decreasing, the moment diagram is concave downward. So this is how it looks like. So again, this is not to scale. So pwede, kasi hindi naman natin kinuha yung value sa bawat point na yan. So it may not be exactly this curve. Ang importante ay mai-represent natin ang concavity ng ating curve. And again, the maximum moment is 61.25. And this is the moment these are the load, shear, and moment diagrams for beam number 7.